Okay, so what I wanted to do is just offer you a quick kind of review of the annotated bib and just common mistakes that people make. I'm going to try to keep this video less than 5 minutes, hopefully even shorter than that. So remember, a lot of this is just structural because I see a lot of structural issues. So I'm just going to start from the top and make my way down. The very first thing I see is that the title isn't bolded, and I would just make it a little bit bigger, maybe size 14. So I've just bolded her title, New Brunswick, New Jersey is a food desert. I'm going to add one space between that and her heading. You should have your full name here. You should title this Annotated Bib. This should be the final due date. So just be mindful of that. Your due date would be February. It's actually for you. I'm just going to change it just so you know your due date. February 13th, 2022. That's Sunday. This is the wrong title here. So let's just make this consistent in size. I'm going to make it 14 so that it matches here. And instead of works cited, remember we're APA, so it should say references. And then I'm just going to enter one more time. So you can see there's a lot of errors going on here. First thing I'm going to do is highlight the actual citation itself. It looks like it's in proper format besides how it's structured on the page. So step one would be making it double spaced. Step two would be just having this over. Oops, let's see. So let me highlight this and show you how you can drag it over. There you go. So you can see I'm just holding this bottom triangle at the top of the margin and I just tab it over about a ½ inch. This is the proper formatting for APA. You can see that it's double spaced because it's beyond a line, it's indented. Note that there is no hyperlink. A lot of people include a blue hyperlink that's clickable. You want to right click if you see that and go down to the option where it says remove clickable hyperlink. The next thing I notice here is that this should be in block formatting. So once again, I'm just going to the top of the screen. Right now it's aligned left and you can scroll all the way over to where it says justify and you'll see that it makes it nice and even on both sides. So I'm going to go down to the next one. I'm just double checking that these are in alphabetical order and they are. This one looks like it's okay. It's indented over. It looks like the only thing that needs to be done is double spacing it. So I'm just going to read through just a little quickly here. I actually see 2 errors in this citation, and this might happen when you copy and paste yours. Health Affairs is actually the journal title, so I'm going to italicize that because all journal titles should be italicized. There should always be a period at the end, so I'll add that period there. And because this is the article title, you want to put it in quotes. So I am going to put that article title in quotes. All right, now that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go down. Once again, that annotation is not in justified or block formatting. So I'm just highlighting that whole annotation and I'm making sure that it's in block. Once again, the way to double check that, just make sure it's even on both sides. Scrolling right along. This one looks pretty good. I'm just double checking everything. I'm going to put this in block formatting. When you're using a website, there's no need to italicize it. So I'm just going to leave that regular. The only thing is there should be a period here. All right, going on to the next one. This looks pretty good. Once again, just a period at the end. Same thing as before, just make sure it's in block formatting. We see that this is Times New Roman font, which is good. One thing I'm noticing as I look up, look at the spacing of this paragraph. This is in our first annotation, and the spacing here, you can see this is not quite single spaced. You always want to go to your spacing options. You'll see this is at 1.15. Just a couple of things. You want to make sure that everything under indentation, if you go to spacing options, is on 0. You also want to make sure that before and after is at 0. And here's your actual line spacing. So you can change it here to 1. I'm going to click OK. Just watch over here and see how that shifts. you can see how that went a little bit smaller. You can also do it here. So just remember it was 1.15, and you can see squishing it to 1 makes it just a little bit more condensed. All right, so we are going back to where we left off, and that's here. Once again, I'm just putting this into block formatting. And one thing I'm noticing here that it's out of alphabetical order. So S is here, and then it looks like it closes with R. So I'll put this in block formatting first. And this also needs just a space here. But that doesn't even matter because I am going to highlight this whole section. And I'm going to cut it. So for me, it's Command X. And I'm just going to go right above here since this is where the other citation goes. And I'm going to paste that so that way it'll be in the proper order. I just want to make sure my spacing is okay. Yep, this is missing a period at the end, so we'll add that in. This looks like it has an extra space. Just make sure you're checking some of your grammar. Same thing here, this should be shows. I'm just looking at a couple of things. Period at the end. One other thing to be mindful of, your annotations themselves, you can see I've highlighted this at the bottom of Word. It will show you the word count. So this is 199 words. Remember, your annotations have to be between 150 and 200 words. In Docs, if you're using Google Docs, just go to Tools and then Word Count, and you should be able to get that when you highlight a specific section. But you can see here, I'm just switching around. Let's look at this section. This is 198. So this person's good here. Let's look at this one. It looks a little bit smaller. 131. So this one's just a little short. It should be a little bit longer. And we'll just double check the first one. Great. Also 151, just over. So this is kind of the minimum of what we're looking at. One last thing I want to go to is the margins. I think this one is correct. Yeah, you just want to make sure that your margins are 1 inch all around. You will also see that pretty much all of the font is Times New Roman, 12-point font. The only size that's a little bigger are the 2 titles. This is your project proposal title, and then this is the references. They should match. They're both size 14 and they're bolded. Hopefully this helped with some structural concerns that you may have had. If you need anything else, just let me know, but I wish you luck, and just a reminder that these are due on Sunday.